Yep.
You're unmuted.
Exactly.
Call to order.
And just make sure you're speaking into the mics, because we
Yeah.
do have people following online.
All right. Katie? Here. Kelly? Here. Mandy is here. Randy?
Here.
Matt?
Here.
And Jason?
Yep.
Okay.
Agenda revisions and approval.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Or
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Consideration of approving the minutes of October 15th, the 2025 committee meeting.
so moved.
A second,
I'll
Support.
Yep, there you go.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes has it. Discussion regarding general operating millage and other funding sources.
So, thanks for coming back tonight. You have in front of you, an opinion from our legal counsel related to the millage language for a general operating millage. You can also see the email to him asking, kind of how we're gonna play this out. You also have in front of you the resolution that was proposed by legal counsel, at least you should. I thought I printed it. Oh yeah, you have it. It's probably still on my printer. I can run and get it. But I did share it with all of you, the resolution of which it should look like that does have the language on it. The big issue with our motion at the last meeting was we established a solid number for the county operating, but the rest of the language was essentially relative to the county's increase, the township would increase as well. Legal counsel is saying that we can't do that because we cannot approve essentially, 13 different millages. It has to be one operating millage that's approved. And so what we're here tonight to do is to reenact the other motion and to tweak that motion and establish a solid number for the townships. What that means is every township is going to increase by a little different amount because they've all rolled back a different amount.
If it were to pass.
If it were to pass, correct.
Do we need to rescind the last motion, or do we need to
No.
reaffirm that and make another one, or?
I don't know that it makes a difference. I think.
I would feel that, I
We
feel
could
that
rescind-
we
we
need to
could rescind
rescind
I
and
it
make a
think we
new-
need to rescind
in the
it and
same-
start
because it's
over.
got the
In
same.
the same
need to
deal.
Take that language away.
Yeah.
And make
Well, we
it, yeah.
could. So it's my thought that that whatever the percentage is that we decided to go with for the recommendation of the increase, we use that same percentage for the townships against their operating their
Well, we can't-
original operating, which would have been all the same, correct? The original operating.
But all the townships are different
Yeah.
right now.
I understand.
so-
I understand that.
So you'd have to like pick a township.
Well, no, you just have to pick it. You take it from the original number, which was all the same. And then whatever that increase would just affect whatever their current number is. It would still be an increase. So say it was a mill, it would still increase the mill across the board based on where they currently are. If that makes sense.
Doesn't make sense.
How does that not make sense?
Well, let me
It doesn't make sense.
pause
to me
here
either.
and go,
Okay,
I've
good.
just pulled up the
guys are-
the resolution from
Yeah. let me
the
go.
attorneys.
Printed those. I think
Okay.
they're on my printer.
So the attorney's resolution here speaks to, it says, whereas county's original rate was 5.29, which as of 2023 was rolled down to 3.378.
Right.
Township's original rate was 1.21.
Right.
Rolled down through 2023 to varying lower rates.
Right.
ISD's original rate was 0.27, rolled down to 0.1881. So
Right.
that's one whereas.
Right.
We have a couple of other whereases that are not particular, we can walk through them, but what it looks like down here is that therefore it be resolved that they're recommending is this proposal. And in the end, they say that shall separate tax limitations be established for an indefinite period until altered by the voters of the county for the county of Benzie, townships, and intermediate school districts, the aggregate of which shall not exceed 9.77.
Okay,
That's
so
the
what
number.
was the original operating for the county?
5.29,
5.29, and what was that number? The 8 point what, or 9?
9.77.
9.77. So this is what I was saying. The percentage of an increase from 5.29 to 9.79, is that right? 9.79? 77. 9.77, yeah. From 5.29 to 9.77, we would take that same percentage and add it to the original operating for the township.
I see what you're saying, but I think we're looking at two different numbers because the county's original rate was 5.29. Our current rate
Yeah.
is
3
You understand that, right?
something like that, 3
I'm just talking about yeah, but the only reason I'm using, the number that we
239.
started with is because
Yeah.
it's consistent for every township. Because they're inconsistent currently, but they were consistent at 1.21 back in 85 or whatever it was.
So Katie,
Did you
Looking-
get that or no?
no, do you have the
No,
resolution?
I don't know where they're at.
I have
Thought I
one that I
printed out.
printed out and then the one from the email that just
Yeah.
has the language in it too.
So
Do you want mine?
So let me see, let me do a little
we
bit of
can-
math.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Katie, let me see if I'm understanding this correctly and feel free to set us straight.
Yep.
Right, so essentially they're saying we need an aggregate number,
Yes.
and that aggregate number is going to be whatever the county, if the proposed increase that we're looking at for a reset plus all the townships would equal that aggregate number theoretically?
Yeah, so the way the resolution looks, the language, it actually spells out County of Benzie Township
Yeah.
and School District. I pulled up Manastee's as well, because Manistee County is every 2 years. They just go out.
Right.
And their language is exactly like this.
Good.
It
Okay.
it reads the statement with the not to exceed, and then it breaks out the three. And even though our intermediate school district is different, we still have to include it.
Mhm.
Right, I understand, and that doesn't change unless the entire region
Which is why Matt's
changes,
here.
right?
Right. So that number is gonna be whatever the levy is as of this year.
Where does the 9.77 come from?
That's the maximum total that was
So
allowed
we
back in
don't
the
even
day.
have to go,
No,
they don't have to add up to that. It just
No.
can't exceed that. 'Cause
right.
that's what
It
he said,
cannot
shall not
exceed the
exceed.
9.77, but when we're saying 1.2 increase for the general operating for the county at 0.75, say for the township, we're gonna add those numbers and
Yep.
our not to exceed is gonna be less than
Way
the
less than that, yeah.
9.77. No matter what, it's gonna be less because we can't affect the school district. So it's gonna be less than the 9.77 because that 9.77 is the original maximum.
Right, so
Of everything combined?
Correct.
what do you mean everything combined?
Back,
Cause that's the
Long ago.
5.29,
Okay.
the 1.2.
So this is what I'm saying. So if you look at 5.29, if you look at 9.77, the proposed, right?
Yeah.
And you look at the original 5.29,
mhm,
it's a 4.48 mil difference. If you take the
Get
percentage
that.
of 4.48 out of 5.29, it's 0.846%, which is what that increase is from the original of 5.29. If we take that same 0.846 and use it across the board at 1.21 or wherever the heck the townships were back in
Yeah,
82, that's a consistent recommendation of an increase. And the townships, and that would just be applied to what their current millage rate is, regardless of where they are from 1.21. It's where they currently are. That would be what we would recommend. That would be what could be, what's that?
You're trying to say levied, but could be levied?
Yes, that's as high as you could go, is 0.84 of 1.2. 1 point, whatever,
you're saying,
1.21.
so you're saying set the township max at 0.84 and set the county's max at,
No, I'm saying set the township's max at, what is 0.84 plus 1.21?
Go above.
you
the-
can't go
above
above 1.21 for townships, period.
So we're at a
That's the ceiling.
3.2399.
What's the ceiling for the county?
5.29.
That's where I'm lost.
So the
Oh, then
even-
where does the 9.77 come? I got,
That's The
But Kelly and
addition-
I are adding it up and it's 6.77.
Correct, and
It's
that's.
not 9.77.
Gotta
So
read
we
the
don't
email,
know
guys.
where the
Read-
three.
Read this.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
read
So
read
take
the
a look-
attorney's
0.77,
email.
which is
Read
coupled
the
with
third
that.
paragraph of the attorney's email, and that's where they get into the math of this, because we're all
Yeah.
wrong, including myself.
Yeah.
This is where they've got
where, what does the paragraph start with? Benzie County.
Benzie County
Smith
Smith Millage,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Says there now.
Oh, I see. That's everybody all together.
Total 6.7.
That's everybody all together. I got you.
Coupled with.
Because later when proposal A and when the school districts left the total allocation, that lowered the amount allowed. Because originally,
Okay.
the schools were part of this overall total.
So it's just a coincidence that it's 6.77. Kelly and I are like, wait, they did their math wrong.
Who invited
Okay,
the
so
school
what I'm,
buses?
okay, so
Yeah, I
what
know.
I'm saying is, so with our recommendation at the last meeting, what did we recommend as the increase?
A 1.2.
1.2
Yep,
For the
Okay.
county.
for the county.
for the county. And what is the county currently levying?
The county-
3.2399.
3.239.
And that's on C.
So
Page.
in my
3 of the
thinking
attorney
is what I'm,
email.
is 1.2 divided by
County.
3.239 is 37%. Is that right? Yeah, 37%.
37.04.
37.04. So take that number and add, and so then we'll take 1.21 times. What was that number? Sorry, 0.37?
37.04.
37 is 0.44. So add 0.447, 0.44 or 45 to 1.21 or to everybody's
Village.
operating.
You still can't do that though, because then they're
Think
still
you
all
can.
different and you have to
Yeah.
establish one number for all
How do we
townships.
do?
So essentially what you have to say is
Take the highest.
county's going to 4, the townships are going to 1. Like that's
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
what you have to figure
Okay.
out. There can't
We
be a
can't
different
have
number.
9 different township or
Correct.
Yep.
however many, 12.
There has to be one ballot language for the entire county period.
I think we go to 1 then. I mean,
So right now you're proposing the county go to 4.4399.
4.399, so 5.29.
It was
4.3999
4.4399.
And then the ISD is
That stays the same.
0.1881.
4.439.
But that's what we have to add in is the 188.
Right.
Yeah.
5.29. Yeah, that's where I was before.
So 4.4399, right?
That would be the 1.2 addition.
Yep. Plus 1. If
That-
that's what we say for
All
townships,
townships. Yep.
plus
Point
0.1881.
Below your 9.7.
Yeah.
And that's
Boy.
4.399 is roughly 80.
0.628.
So 4.399 is roughly 84% of 5.29. So if we take 84%
of 1.21.
of 1.21, right,
That's 1.01. So
So
one is,
one is easy.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
I think
one's
one
easy.
is better.
one's easy, yeah,
Yeah.
can I pause this for a moment?
yeah.
Just to think about this, because it's taken me a minute to
Better than 9.
digest this.
Right.
But I think I have it, which makes me nervous for this, because if it's this complicated for us, it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
much
I
more
don't see it to
complicated
be,
for the
I don't
public.
see it that complicated myself, but
Well, it's, once we kind of sifted through this, it's making sense. I think the issue right now is when we were doing this before, and we were talking about increasing by 1.2 and not going all the way up to the original ceiling, right? That was,
Mhm.
Correct.
we
Yeah.
kind of had options. We were saying we could reset all the way to the original 5 point, whatever,
Whatever, yeah.
5.29. Or we could leave it where it is, or we could go somewhere in the middle. And we all landed that 1.2 was the right
Somewhere in the
number.
middle. Yeah.
somewhere in the middle, got us the about $2 million per year in additional revenues that would, like, we went through all that. So now we've got that 1.2 additional mills. We all agreed that was kind of our original thing here. The townships, I don't think we had picked a number for the township. We had assumed
No.
Didn't,
that it had to be a proportional increase only.
which is why,
Which is
Or
not
that they'd
true.
all have to go out for
which is
their own.
why I'm propelled.
And that we had nothing to do with it.
Well,
It's proportional.
Here's what I'm wondering, but I don't think it can be proportional because everyone has a different rate
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
To try to be proportional means that everyone is going to have a different number,
it's
which
not
we
gonna
can't
be.
do. We have to set a flat number.
It's not going to be proportional.
Here's my question. We're not asking for an increase in townships. We're just authorizing townships to potentially in the
Yeah.
future
One, right.
increase.
Correct.
Why would we not reset them up to the top cap?
I
And
would,
then the townships can do what they need to do.
I would
and they
agree
have
with
no
that.
inhibition.
I would agree with that.
I think it's crazy for us to
I mean,
pick
look
a
at
weird number. in the
Nickel and
Jo-
dime.
Joyfield
because it's gonna be
Township.
different for every place anyway. So
Joyfield
why don't we just
Township
put
is-
it to the ceiling and say, you do what you gotta.
Well,
do.
and it's
And then the
easier to
townships
explain it that this is, we're bringing it up to the original voted in back in 1982, which
Right.
is the whole point of that vote
Joyf-
in August of
If you
24
look-
was to
If you look
reset
at
that.
Joyfield Township, they're almost at one at already. I mean,
Right.
0.21 is less than, is, it's 20%.
But
So-
Lake is at 0.52, so a jump from 0.52 to 1 point, whatever the original is, 1.21 is more significant.
It is.
But all we're doing is setting a cap.
We're giving them
And
a
then
cap and they
townships
decide.
can work wherever they need to work and the voters decide.
I think that makes
We
more
give
sense.
them maximum flexibility.
I think it makes
Like,
more
why
sense.
would we not give them maximum why? I don't feel like it's our arbitrary decision to say, no, you can only.
What's the difference
Yeah.
between the two? Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Matt. That makes the most sense.
But it's always the perception of, up to authorized.
Yeah, the
up
trust
to.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a firm number. That's,
No.
that's a firm number of the maximum that can be.
Right. Up to
allocated.
the max of the
But
original.
When
Yeah.
you're a voter, you see that and you say, well, they're gonna just do the max. That's all they're ever gonna do is do the max, even though they may not have, historically done it. But as a voter, they're gonna think.
Well,
"Look,
unless
that's
it's
gonna-
explained
But that,
beforehand.
but now we're talking about individual township elections. I
Yeah.
don't know that we need to get that far into thinking about things.
Well, it's all one election period.
For this,
This,
right.
yeah.
But what Randy was bringing up was the individual levies of townships.
Correct.
And levying the full, if they had the option to levy 1.21 and they say, we're gonna levy 1, he's saying that where's the trust that they're gonna actually just levy the 1 rather than 1.21? But what I'm saying is that's down to individual township election and levies where we probably shouldn't be even going to.
Involved in.
Just for
Right.
clarity, we're authorizing the cap up, but they're not, like, the township still has to hold an election.
Absolutely.
Yes?
No.
No,
No,
no, because we're undoing that for them.
this is one election. It gives.
For everybody.
100% right. I mean, if we put it up to the cap and the township says, well, yeah, we're all gonna, and they don't
Yeah,
have to have a vote,
Trust.
No,
Trust.
then
it's
this is
up
gonna
to
be
the
the- then
board.
this
So
is the taxing.
every single year, the boards take action to adopt their L 4029s
Right.
with a limit of levy. There's
I-
no election.
So I just missed, you're correct.
The only
Yeah, no,
thing
I
we
guess you're right.
didn't do last time though was put a term
Gotta
on
do
it
something.
either. So should we put a term on it? This
I
time?
think
if
that
we're-
makes sense because otherwise we're gonna be in the same situation
What did you say, man?
that we were.
We didn't,
if
when we
say
voted on it
indefinite.
last month, we didn't put a term on it to recommend to the commissioners, like a 2-year or 4-year.
I,
And
didn't
as
do
this is
that.
written, it says indefinite again, because that was the original language. But if we want to keep a timeline on this, like I said, Manastee's every 2 years. I just looked
It
on
should
their
be. It
website.
should have a
Yeah.
time.
I could go with 2 years,
I mean, I like you guys
Re-
fine,
reassess.
but I don't want to come do this every year. Sorry.
I give it give
I-
it 2 years.
I will say though, if we uncap, which I don't disagree, maximum flexibility is great, but then the township boards have total authority.
They do.
Voters don't have to approve,
Correct.
which means at that point, for all of these townships, it's more tax increase than what that's
But
beyond.
there
he's from a township and he can speak for his own experience. We would be really dumb to do that.
But also you also have to remember that there is an election. There is an election for the initial whole deal.
This,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is an opportunity for everybody to cast their vote for or against it. I mean.
No, I agree. I just,
It's a scary thought. to leave that open.
I am all, like, we're already putting the commission in an uphill battle to try to pass 1.2 additional. If we're also layering on top of that potential township increases now, for some, I mean, it could range from Lake looks like the low at
Joyfield's the
0.52.
high, unfortunately.
Right, so like
But the problem is
in
we
Lake,
have to do something.
a Lake Township voter could reasonably say, so you're asking for 1.2 additional from the county plus another almost 0.6 for my township.
And Lake Township has a huge tax base.
Yeah, so like you're,
That's why it's rolled back.
while the townships absolutely don't have to do it, if there's no vote required,
They could.
as a voter, it's reasonable to say, well, at that point, I'm
No
gonna
way.
assume they're
Yeah.
gonna max it.
I don't like, because of the rollback, I don't like how we're being forced to have a
Mm.
consistent number for every township.
For something that's currently very
It
inconsistent.
doesn't make any
And
sense.
it will continue to be inconsistent because they're gonna have different rollback factors
So, so,
every year.
so
The
who's
law
saying
says you
that-
have to do that.
we have to do it that way.
Yeah, that's literally, we just have
You
to.
have
a
to
bunch of
make a piece
baloney.
idiot
And
in
I
front
just
of you.
can't
Yeah.
imagine, like, in my mind, we could just ignore the township issue. Sorry, guys, I know that I'm just pointing out there. Or I don't see a point in going somewhere in the middle. Like you either uncap it or you don't.
Well, and you can't ignore the
Yeah.
township issue because to put this on the ballot, you have to pick a number for the townships. So some are gonna win and some are gonna
I'd
lose
say one.
at the end of the day.
That covers
Because
that.
you have to pick a number and it's,
Covers
okay, which
everybody.
township are you picking, I guess?
Jeez,
One covers everybody.
Got
And,
I do too.
you
It's
technically,
ridiculous.
you would have to pick the highest number
At least.
at
Yeah.
least, because otherwise you're gonna force people to have less.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
all these townships,
They're
they're
so
levy
different.
the entire amount.
Yeah.
And outside of, I think it's Lake, they don't all have these grand fund balances either.
Well,
No.
that's where if we were going to do it, I think the only thing I could support is going to the original, like unfully capped.
1.2.
Go to 1.21.
I mean, it's not,
Because it's not.
if you look at
arbitrary.
Joyfield, which is
Arbitrary numbers,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, we're not at that point making the decision. At that point,
Yeah. Well, the difference would be
1.21
5.628 or 5.838.
1.21 is not far off of 0.9596, which is where Joyfield's levy is right now.
and
I mean, 1.21 makes just as much sense as one for that matter. And I think your explanation makes more sense for the public for explaining things.
And I mean, you can make a case. You can say, look, you've got township officials and you hold them accountable.
Mhm.
Like, right? I mean, I would,
Absolutely.
this is my supervisor. And
Right?
I'd be like, you gotta
Yeah.
make a case if you're going to increase from your current levy. I know you have the capacity to, but,
Right.
and then if you don't make the case, I guess that's
It's
when
like
we have
the-
elections.
Yeah.
It's like the
Right. Yeah, you're right.
road commission, there's a lot of chatter online.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of misinformation that
Always
people are gonna
is.
believe.
Yeah.
For sure.
The county's gonna raise our taxes 50% from one year to the next, because we're gonna say up to that amount.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have that's gonna be a heck of a boulder to push uphill.
Yeah.
To get the taxpayer to agree that that's what we need.
Right.
But if we have no choice legally to do this,
Gotta go 1.2.
I think we
don't-
gotta go one.
But we don't have to go to full 977, do we?
No,
No,
No.
That's
I
what
think
I'm-
it's,
So why don't we just stay with the 1.2 like we agreed?
No,
and then
because the
township-
numbers add up.
no, that's
to-
what we are saying.
Yes.
Instead of 977, they currently add up to 5.628.
We're not
If you go
changing-
with a one.
We're not changing anything from the 1.2 for the county. No.
so
But the language in that
we,
proposal says up to, that's the kicker for me. Is they can levy up to that 9, whereas we're at 5
No, we
now.
changed
How?
that.
No, we're
This is just
changing
a
that.
number they put in.
Yeah.
Oh.
It can't exceed this.
Right.
Our numbers are gonna be these. So
Yeah.
these three numbers would be in these three spots.
read
And
those
they're
three.
gonna add up to 5, not
Can
9.
you read those three numbers just so we're
Yep.
clear?
4.4399 for the county.
That's the current. plus
That would be the
1.2.
3.4399 plus 1.2.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, good.
2399.
Yes,
Yeah.
2.3, yes. And then 1 mil for the townships. And then,
1.21.
1.21
well, that's,
or.
this is just
we're
using
talking
one,
that,
yeah,
right.
and then 0.1881 for the ISD.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we used 1.21 instead of 1, the difference is 5.628, 5.838.
And what was the
Got it.
number?
I think that makes the most sense for what we're doing. It makes the most sense.
My opinion, it's still, you know, it shall not exceed 977.
That 977 won't be there.
Yeah,
We'll
the-
say
it's
will
gonna
but
be
shall
our
not
own
exceed
number. That changes.
5.8.
That changes to one of these two numbers.
Right.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
maximum legally amount, but
Yeah.
we'll
5 point-
change that.
We're not gonna get to that anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 point.
Actually, it's going to be less because I don't have the 25 L 4029s in front of me, but the 24 L 4029 for the ISD was actually a 0.1857 levy, so even less.
Yep. So I think what do we need to do to?
Need to rescind, I need to
We
rescind my motion.
And he needs to do it because he made it.
All right,
So let's.
all right,
start
so,
there.
so I would like, I would like to rescind my previous motion and make a motion to set the township levy to the 1.21 where they were originally. That's the motion. However, that's best,
Well, but if you're
gotta-
rescinding the old motion entirely, you
Oh, yeah.
have to include the county in your new.
and then the
motion.
account,
Yeah.
and the county raised by 1.2.
So that would be a new levy of
4.39.
4.4399.
Sorry, 4.4399. I keep forgetting that 4.4399.
So your motion is including the township at 1.21, county at point,
Let's
1.2,
rescind the first one and then we'll
which I did, yeah.
yeah, we
make a
have,
motion for the second.
yeah.
First one's rescinded and then,
We have a motion to rescind Jason's
You seconded
Motion.
his emotion.
Yes.
Emotion.
Do we have to?
motion,
do
motion.
that?
Except I don't think I have you as seconding it in the minutes, but I know you did.
I rescind my
You have to
motion.
fix the
I
minutes,
I
too.
rescind my support
Yes.
of Jason's
yeah,
original
we
motion.
don't have to vote on a rescension, Recension, is that right? Recension, is that how you?
Action.
We're not even, I'm not even. gonna have-
Retraction. It's a long day, man.
Fourth
I know.
6 o'clock.
It's like the 6th Monday of the week. So,
Typically, if you're taking a motion to override an older motion, part of that new motion could be and to supersede the motion made on.
yeah,
So you could say something like that. So
right.
I make a motion for the townships to be 1.21, the county to increase by 1.2. And further that this supersedes the motion on October 15th or something
When,
like
What
that.
she said.
1.2 is brought up on the ballot. Will the ballot explain, or how do you explain to the
What is in
taxpayers?
this resolution is all you get on the ballot.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't explain that,
No.
we're rolling back a couple of the villages. We're dropping them off and it's getting.
That's,
rolled in
that's,
there.
that's part of
No,
our
that's part of the
education. That's
The
everybody.
commissioner's
county
job to do
education.
that.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Here comes Facebook again. I'm telling
I
you.
know.
No, you're.
You know,
Well, and you're correct. Yeah, I mean, even on Facebook today, somebody was adamant that road commissioners make $450 per meeting and that the road commission only has 7 employees. And I mean, this person was adamant on Facebook. So
Right.
that's what you're up against.
Mandy, do you have that correct or what? I'm going to say it again.
I just have that you rescinded the motion, that motion, and Kelly rescinded her support. I don't
Okay.
have a new
So
motion.
the
written
new
down.
motion,
And you're
is-
making it?
Sure.
Okay.
The new motion is to raise the county by 1.2, townships by 1.21.
To 1.21.
Yeah, to 1.21.
Yeah,
2.121, yep.
Up to.
right. Yeah, that's it. And what did you say?
And we don't have to say anything about the ISD, just because it's what
ISD
it's.
remain static.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to remain static.
Okay.
Okay.
But you forgot the timeline.
For 2 years.
We have that motion again, please.
Mandy,
No.
Mandy can read it back.
But if you want me to read my notes, I have JAB
Yeah.
moves, yeah.
You know what
To raise the township millages up to 1.21, the county, I'll put county first, by 1.2. And then we don't need to say anything about the
You could add them in, it's not gonna hurt. With the ISD
ISD
to
not to
remain-
exceed.
Point
With
eight.
the ISD to remain stable, static, something
Yeah.
along those lines,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
that.
However,
For a period of 2 years.
come the ISD stays like that.
Because we have a multi-county ISD.
Oh,
That's
that makes sense.
Pasca rules the
They're-
roost on when
They're
that
the
happens.
fiduciary.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Counts,
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just it's what it
Okay.
is until
Yeah.
Calcasas decides to move forward.
And
years.
this,
Very interesting.
Because they're the largest land mass county. I found that out too. I thought that was interesting.
In the
Okay.
area.
do you want to say anything else
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
Pretty strange.
you know, sending it in resolution form to the commissioners at the November 12th meeting, or are we just leaving all of that out of an actual motion?
Yeah, I don't need that. That stuff doesn't need to be in the motion, I don't think.
Okay.
It,
But do we
that's-
want to say, because in the last motion, we said absorbing the TNT officer millage and the school resource officer.
Yeah.
And let those two millages
Yes.
expire.
Yes,
Yeah.
add that into the.
Okay.
Just because it won't be in the ballot language doesn't mean that we can't include it in our
Right.
motion
Exactly.
as a
Yep.
Yeah, you
proposal
can
to the
include it in
commission, right?
yours.
Like
Yes,
that
for
is our
sure.
recommendation.
And I would like to get a copy of that before we have the meeting at the, before we have to talk to the commissioners.
So we just,
We
you
could-
will plug in these numbers, Katie, in this, instead of the 9.77, you'll just plug in what we talked about and,
Yep, and I
Okay.
just found the 4029 for 25 for North Ed. Or the ISD, sorry, and it's 0.1828 is what they're at for 25.
that's good to know. Okay. So we have increased the county by 1.2, the townships up to 1.21, and the ISD not to
Stays.
exceed 0.182, or
Like-
stays at 0.1828
Yeah,
for a period of 2
Language
years.
Up to 1.2.
For 2 years.
no, because 1.2 is,
Added to the,
yeah, so the language will have to read the not to exceed, so it's not 1.2 because we're
Yeah.
at. So it's gonna, the language is gonna read not to exceed 4.4399 for the county,
Mhm.
not to exceed 1.21 for the township.
Would it make sense?
because the county levies twice in
Yeah,
the year
right.
and townships only levy once.
Just for, this is all super simple. And
Yeah.
by simple, I mean complicated. Would it make sense, just for the purposes of clarifying the motion and clarifying this, that we use the same language for both? Could I offer maybe that edit? So it's the county not to exceed that number, 4.439.
Well, and they are gonna be
399.
both, yeah, not to exceed.
And then the townships not to exceed
1.21.
1.21.
In the motion. you mean?
ISD
Yeah.
not to exceed 0.18, like, so it's clear.
So you're
Consistent,
offering
yeah.
a friendly amendment and the mover and seconder have to accept.
Yep.
Yes, that would be my offering of an amendment.
Accepted.
Yes.
Okay, let me read it again before you guys, yeah.
Just trying to reduce confusion.
No, I was struggling with that one too. Jason moves to,
We could just have,
Rescind.
yeah, yeah.
no, we already did that. This is the new motion.
We didn't vote on the,
We don't have
Or
to
we
vote
don't
on
have
this.
to
I
vote?
just, I just rescinded it.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Moves to recommend to the Board of Commissioners. My gum is stuck in my teeth. Not a county millage not to exceed 4.4399, township millages not to exceed 1.21, and the ISD millage not to exceed 0.1828 for a period of 2 years.
Correct.
And then I'm gonna add in absorbing the TNT officer
Right.
millage and the school resource officer millage.
Right.
Let those two millages expire.
Right.
Yes,
Kelly,
that's the full recommendation.
Yes,
okay,
makes sense.
Court,
We have a-
you want me to do a roll call?
Well, any further discussion? Are we good?
On this.
I,
As good as we're gonna get, I think.
Yeah,
Now, let's have a roll call.
Okay. Katie,
here, yes.
you know, it's
Yes.
Thursday night. Kelly,
Yes.
I say aye. Randy,
Aye.
Matt,
I,
Jason.
Yep.
Motion passed.
Motion passes.
No, I think your reason
just-
makes makes
I,
sense.
in the
No
news
reason
of
to-
recent, I know we've already
We can't make.
done this, it's gonna go to the voter, but in the news of Traverse City and up there, they're getting the state or trying to have the state issue a new, I don't know what the verbiage would be, but they're gonna tax hotels now and collect that money, but the
City
state
is?
has, legislatures have to pass a specific bill for that in order for Traverse City to do that. How come we couldn't piggyback on that, and get it for Benzie County?
We talked
just
about
asked.
that before. It's
Yeah.
because we don't have a chamber of commerce anymore, right?
But
TC
they're-
Tourism
but-
has both of us.
it does, but yeah, the TC
Because-
Tourism,
Our money
they're
goes to
splitting it.
Traverse City now.
between TC Tourism and Traverse City. I don't know if it's the county or the city.
So
they're
what
gonna
I'm
split
talking
them.
about again is a bed tax.
Yeah.
Right now, the legislature does not allow anyone to, in the north essentially, to take a bed tax. Grand Traverse County has been lobbying like crazy to allow for that for them. The last I heard of the legislation that was being talked about still would not include a county the size of Benzie County. It's again based on size and population, which we don't even come close to meeting. Right now, Kent County, it's Kent County, Ann Arbor, Washtenaw area, they all have bed tax. But we don't fall.
I
under
thought it
that
had to do
balance.
with the chamber and how our money
So
goes
that
to
is,
Traverse
Separate.
City.
That's the.
and that's a tourist tax.
Okay,
So some of these jurisdictions are actually levying county and local millages for room
Mhm.
and board.
yeah. Yep.
But the law is very specific on who can do it right now. Grand Traverse has been lobbying, a few other bigger counties have
What-
been lobbying to expand that
What is that money paying for?
county operating
Really?
and city operating, yes.
They're just finding a different
the
revenue
tourist
source
tax.
for that, to support that.
TC Tourism is a separate tax on hotel rooms. that
Yes.
runs- That's for promotion.
That's for promotion, marketing.
And we are part of that now.
And we are part of that
Fancy and
TC
Traverse City.
tourism.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Yes,
Good old Warren Bud.
that's
Yeah.
what I was getting at.
So, just for whoever is planning to come next week to the meeting, the meeting is a bit stacked. This will be on the agenda. I don't anticipate a ton of discussion. I do anticipate some. I don't anticipate any action though next week on this because it is a pretty heavy subject.
Yeah,
sure.
So it'll be on the agenda for, some discussion. And then I anticipate them pushing it to the next study session for a bit more dialogue. The other thing too is the state is still not technically published the election dates for 2025. And so we don't even have that calendar. So to adopt the language, maybe the election
26,
isn't
for
that.
2026.
Yeah, for
So-
26, that's
No,
what
I was following
do
you.
you-
we don't have the dates yet. So we probably wouldn't even adopt a resolution for an election until we have those dates from the state and we just don't have them yet.
So when do you want us to come to the meeting?
I'd be happy to have at least one or two of you next week for that starting of the conversation, but then there will be more dialogue happening at like a study session level. So it's a bit more conversational.
And this is
in the
Wednesday
weeds.
at 9?
It's Wednesday because of Veterans Day, so we pushed it to
They
Wednesday.
probably won't be
Okay.
asking us questions if we're sitting in the audience on next
Andy,
Wednesday.
can you come to this?
Maybe not many.
Maybe.
If you can, I can, but.
Well,
I was gonna plan on.
both Kelly and
I
I
am too.
will be there
You'll
as
be there
well.
anyway.
Oh, okay,
too.
good, yeah.
But we'd love to have more of you. I wouldn't anticipate an hour
Yeah.
of discussion at this meeting, but
Exactly.
it could be an hour of discussion at the study session.
No
as well,
promises,
too.
but I will try.
Okay.
Okay.
What date the study session will be?
It's, there's one on the 25th of November and then one on December 9th. I would anticipate December 9th because the 25th, I mean, that's right by the holiday.
Mhm.
It's hard for people's schedules, so.
Any public comment?
So no.
Well, if anyone's interested in the
Sure.
1982 ballot language, that's what it looked like.
We're adjourned.